What's going on, Legionnaires, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you're new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, and make sure you're not missing any of the content that we have coming out. Now, this issue is a little bit random, because for this video, we're going to be covering Future State, Superman vs. Imperious Lex, issue number 3, which will be closing out this little story from Future State. Now, I don't really know why they waited till now to finally release it, but we're getting it this week relative to weeks prior when Future State really closed out. Now, if you didn't catch any of Future State or you didn't follow Superman vs. Imperious Lex, go ahead and check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It'll get you completely caught up on everything that was going on with that little story arc and that little run, all leading into Infinite Frontier. Now, this is written by Mark Russell, pencils are by Steve Pugh, inks are also by Steve Pugh, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. So getting into this opening panel, we open up to the United Planets headquarters on Earth. And they're having an inner council meeting, discussing what to do with Lexor. Because right now, as the council sees it, Superman disabled all of Lex's robots, and Lex can no longer plunder nearby worlds. And at the same time, they did, as a people, demand to leave the United Planets. And now they're broke, and many on the council believe that they should just really fend for themselves at this point. And a lot of people feel like, this is kind of what Lex, this is really what he deserves. Like, who cares? Let him sit on his planet and sit and wallow in sorrow. And this is when Lois Lane interjects and lets them all know, she was kidnapped. And Superman had almost been killed on this planet. But they knew the danger that they were getting into. They went there because there are people on Lexor who do need help, and they still need help. And this is when Superman takes the floor, and he really breaks it down for the council and lets them know that now their energy crystals are pretty much worthless. Their economy has been absolutely devastated. Refugees will be arriving to planets all over here soon, and the United Planets needs to be ready to receive them. Not only that, but they need to be welcoming to them. Regardless of what these people may have done or done while following Lex, Superman wants to show mercy to them, because as Superman, every act of mercy saves the world for somebody, and sometimes in showing mercy to others, we can also save ourselves. And of course, everybody agrees with Superman. You can't disagree with him after giving a speech like that, and then him being the one to go to Lexor and try to help the people. And as they see these two off, they make sure to let them know that if they get into any kind of trouble, they're really on their own. And if they get captured, they're not going to do anything to help them. If they get killed, they're not going to do any kind of retaliation. Really, they're just completely on their own. But both Superman and Lois believe what they're doing is for the betterment of all the individuals that live on Lexor. But this is going to be challenging. It's going to be challenging because Superman can only last so long under the red sun. And even if they try to go at nighttime, that whole planet absorbs red sun energy, absorbs the red sun sunlight, and stores it in every bit of what it is. But Superman thinks that he might have another plan to be able to make this all work. And then we're taken to Lexor, and we have Lex Luthor giving a grand speech. And you can see crowds gather below cheering in his name, banners, t-shirts, beanie babies, you name it. He has literally become their god, their icon, their emperor, whatever you want to call it. He is everything that they look up to. And for Lex, they are his greatest weapon. And right now, he needs to come up with some kind of reason. Some kind of reason all of their crystals are now useless. And he asks X99 for some kind of assistance here, but the robot can really only say that he'll stand by his side no matter what. And so Lex gives his speech, and he lets them know that he knows their economy has suffered, and he takes full responsibility in finding those that are responsible to blame. And he blames Superman, because if Superman hadn't been rescued, he never would have been able to copy Lexor's crystals. He blames Lois Lane, because if she hadn't been allowed to escape, she wouldn't have been able to rescue Superman. And while all of this speech is going on, X99 is sitting there just thinking to himself how great of a leader Lex is, how strong he is, how sure of himself he is, how lucky he is to be created by such an amazing individual, as he looks down into the crowd and sees everybody cheering and seeing all the love that they have for him. And it just makes him so proud to be created by Lex. And then Lex continues his speech, saying that the one truly responsible is the one who let Lois Lane escape. And that individual is X99, because he was charged with keeping her in the palace and he did not do so. And so all of this is Lex trying to put the blame on the robot and banishes X99 forever, sending him to the moon. And X99, sitting here in exile, doesn't know what to do with himself. His parts will probably last maybe, a millennia, 2, maybe 100. He doesn't really know, but he's going to be stuck up here for a long time. And he wants so desperately to prove himself to Lex, to prove himself to be useful, to show himself worthy of Lex's love. And this is when he comes across all of Lex's robots. Now, back on Lexor, things aren't looking great. The average person isn't making more than 20,000 credits, and it seems to be dropping. Now, Lex is trying to twist the news to the best of his ability, trying to manipulate the outcome and how people perceive all this information, making it seem like 20,000 credits is a huge deal, telling them news that they actually want to hear, not the news that they should be hearing. And slowly, Lexor is descending into extreme poverty and soon will collapse completely. Now, picking back up on Lexor's moon, we see X99 has activated all of the robots. And as they come back online, he communicates that with them and tells them that this is all for the benefactor. But the robots don't recognize who the benefactor is, and doesn't recognize any directive given by Lex. So they resort back to their basic programming, which is to find the nearest planet, assess its threat level, and start harvesting it. And the nearest planet is Lexor. And this is when Superman and Lois make their approach, parking on the far side of the moon, going and looking for all of these robots, because this was Superman's plan. Maybe he could reprogram these things so they could put Lex under arrest on their own. And that way they could land on the planet and be able to rescue as many people as possible. But then they go to find these robots only to see that they're missing. And this is when we pick up on the planet's surface. And we have a Lexorian family just sitting here eating some dinner when one of Lex's robots comes crashing in through the ceiling. And as all chaos is breaking out through the city, even the news is still trying to lie about exactly what is happening, giving propaganda saying that this is all lies and there's not actually anything happening in the city. There's no giant robots attacking. It's all lies, like we're still perfectly alive, ha 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 ha. And it's just showing how deeply rooted his media propaganda campaign goes and how manipulative he is to his people. But this is when Superman and Lois arrive, and they start doing their best to take care of all of these robots, trying to protect as many people as possible. But then Lex Luthor shows up in his suit, blaming Superman for all of this. He goes straight to attack Superman, but Lex's people are starting to see that this is Lex. These robots are his, and they're the ones that are destroying the planet. And as Superman and Lex battle one another, Lois Lane makes her way to the news studio. Now, Superman, he's becoming much weaker every second he is on this planet. The red sun is literally draining him of his power. And this only gets magnified by all the crystals that are on this planet. And Lex has made one that's essentially a magnifying glass. And this is when we see Lois Lane get on the broadcast to everybody in the city, on the planet, letting them know that there's a better way, that the United Planets is here and they're going to help them. No matter how you feel about us, we're here to help you right now, and we want to show you all a better way. And this is when all of the people start to turn on Lex, realizing that he's actually the bad guy, and Superman is here to save people. And this is when the locals break this crystal magnifying glass, and it gives Superman enough ability to be able to stand up and kind of end this fight. And this is when X99 comes up and begs for Lex Luthor. Begs for his life because the little robot loves him and wants to go wherever he goes, letting Superman know that he'll take whatever punishment is dished out. And so we see them all a little bit later, headed back to Earth. Imperious Lex locked up with X99. No, obviously Lex isn't exactly thrilled about this, but X99, he couldn't be happier. They may not be ruling a planet, but they have this cell, and X99 has his creator. What more could he possibly want? But that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I had a lot of fun with this one. Personally, I think if they were going to do a third issue of these, though, they should have really gave, House of L another issue. That one, drastically deserved another issue. I think Imperious Lex, they could have ended it on the last issue, but having this third one in here really does, fulfill the story, give it a whole complete plot. We got that beginning, middle, and ended, so it went really well. It's not the best artwork from DC, but it's definitely not the worst. I enjoyed it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you haven't yet, please do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and until the next breakdown.